G'day. This is Simon slash Australia, and I'm going to pitch camp. So I thought, why not do that together? So instead of me blah 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 blahing, we could have something practical to do. Let me show you. So I've come up off the road. You can kind of see Princess Highway heading over there, and if we climb up here, we might be able to see it down. No, not really. Now, we don't want to be near, wood piles or any sort of hazards that could contain creepy crawlies. So we're just going to select the campsite. I've done my 30k today, and then when I plop into the hammock, I'll put on me spectacles and have a chat. So I've come down this little old fire track, now overgrown, not used, but the benefit of this is it's nice and clear. Now you can see some dead trees and some leaning trees. We don't want to be near any of that. We only want an area where the trees around us have green growth on them. Not that I'm talking like I'm some kind of sage bushman, which I'm bloody well not, but yeah, we don't want dead branches falling on us. There's supposedly going to be some bad weather coming through tonight. So look, here's a couple of trees. We'll run with these, and I'll just talk to you as I get the gear sorted. So we don't need to worry about visibility. We're well out of the way. I'm just going to clip you to my chest. I hope you can hear me all right. And once I'm set up, I'll plop into the hammock and have a chat with you. So for now, you have the first eye superhero view. Now, as you can see, I've used my old poncho now to keep the bag dry, because I've got this lovely Malakuta coat. The coat that has been decorated by Shanna, Graham and Anya. So all I really need to do is, well, I'll take that off for now. I'll give you a quick rundown of the gear that I'm carrying. So, this is my solar blanket. Strapped here to the bottom of my thingamo-bobamo is my tarp. But wrapped inside the tarp is the hammock and everything else. So it's all basically just a loose swag. I'm sorry if the camera work is pretty garbage. You're basically just hanging off my left boob. And we'll get this up lickety-split, and then I'll be able to say g'day. So, as we unroll this, you'll see it's basically inside the tarp is, whoops, my glasses fell over. Let's get them, pick them up. Inside the tarp is the hammock. Inside the hammock is the dry sleeping gear. So, our main concern after falling branches and trees is leeches and snakes and other creepy crawlies. So we want to get this up and not contaminate it with other little things that might be on the ground. It all looks pretty clear here, but I've had a bad experience with a leech before, so don't want to do that again. So I'm taking this rope here, and we're just setting it up around this tree. Diddly-dee-dee-diddly-dee, pitching camp with Captain Australia. Riggedy-dee-dee. Okay. Won't take too long to do. So, oops. So there, you can see there's a carabiner, and we're set up around a tree. I don't need a branch to hold that up. Gravity will hold it up, as long as I sort of make it roughly the same height at both sides. So then we get this end, same deal. Remove the rope. Diddly-dee-dee, remove the rope. Diddly-dee-dee with Captain Australia. And got this lovely tree over here, which we will wrap around. Yo, 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 we're wrapping around the tree. It's not what I mean. I didn't mean this kind of rap. Crazy man, stop talking crap. Oh, there you go. So, now, I click that on here. Hopefully you're still with me, not bored senseless. So you can see it's at a reasonable height. And over here is the little something or other, tarp over the top. So we unroll that bad boy. And once that's up, if a storm suddenly hit, we can take shelter, strip off clothes, do whatever we need to do, because our shelter is up. Hey. So the tarp is just loosely tied here, and it goes over the top of the hammock. It's a bit longer than the hammock. Now, I am not a tinker, soldier, sailor, spy, whatever. I don't know knots or anything. I'm just a suburban dad of three. So who knows how much better I could do this if I had a clue. But I don't have much of a clue, and this is how I do it. So I tie this up through here, and the key with the tarp is to make it taut. So tie that up, do a double knot in case it's windy. Sorry if I'm boring you senseless. And then we come over this end, whoops, and do this one. And after that, I can take you off this disorienting hanging on my boob view. We can have a chat. So, we pull this through here. I don't know how well you can see that. Got this white string. We want it to be nice and tight so that rain that hits the tarp will just roll off it and not drip through to me underneath. So diddly-dee, Captain Australia in the forest, hoping we don't get attacked by any wild creatures or bogans and such. Okay, tie this up. Whoops, oh, you stuffed that up, Captain Australia. Silly old man. Nobody knows what you're doing. So we'll make a knot here, and that is pretty tight. So, now all we need to worry about is the sides. So we have these little hooks that we can shove in the ground, and there's also ropes that we can tie onto something. The hooks are fine. The ropes are fine too. Sorry. Let's just shove this in there. Step on it with our big mighty boots. Whoops. Come on, you old fool. Stop calling yourself an old fool, Captain Australia. People said they don't like it. But I am an old fool. Okay. Push that down into there. All good. Almost done. Now here's a dead branch here. Let's just move him away. And bring this one over here. And dee-da-dee-dee-dee. Da-diddly-dee. Put him in the ground so rain will run down. It's like an episode of Play School. So, you see that? So that'll resist the rain pretty well. And then, I'll do the other side and climb in and have a chat. So this side, bring it down here. Whoops. Yep. Stuck in the ground. And this side over here. Stuck in the ground. Now, if we climb underneath, you will see the bag is sitting here good to go. Let's pull this well and truly under. Got my jacket here, which I'm going to use to wrap all my stuff in. So you will see as I partially disrobe, I'll show you the gear. So, number 1 on the old utility belt, water bottle. Number 2, pouch. Inside here is my power pack, which I'll probably want during the night, but we'll just shove it there for now. Number 3 on the old utility belt, first aid kit. Number 4, lanyard with the Captain Australia mask, and it would have held my mag light torch in there. However, that's gone. And this is my pouch with all my valuables and stuff in it. So we take off the gloves, and then I'll be good to just lay down and chat. So if you bear with me for another minute, I'll chuck my spectacles on and say g'day. So it's not quite, well, it's not anywhere near dark at the moment, but we've come our 30k, and honestly, with all of the wet and the hills and all the rest, I'm a wee bit tired. So, now the hammock, you would think I want it hanging low, but I've found that the tighter you make it, once you put your body weight in there, it goes down a bit anyway, but the tighter we make it, the flatter it is when laying down, so your legs aren't poking up at weird angles and stuff. But it can be a bit tricky to get in, and that is the manoeuvre we're looking to execute right now. Oh, Captain Australia, get that mighty bum in the hammock. I've got our insect net here, and we're all good. Now, I'm just going to firstly apologise for all that and pull you loose. See if we're still streaming. We are streaming. And we'll flip it around. And, oh, the screen is very dark. I wonder if I can fix that without killing the stream. Sorry, bear with me. Sorry, you can see. Now, because my boots, they're covered in mud, and I don't want to bring them in. Now, a year ago, there's no way I could do any of this stuff without horrible cramps and physical distress. Now, reorient your phone, Captain Australia. I want to take these boots off and without wrecking anything that I've done. So here we go. Oh, this is fascinating, isn't it, people? So I'm sorry, anyone who has made comments, I'll scroll back up and look at them. I'll tell you where I am and where I'm going, what I'm doing and why. I actually could have pushed on for another, couple of hours and gone to a pub, the Bellbird pub, assuming it would have been open tonight, and it might have had I think it has a campground near there, but, sorry, let me just get these bloody boots off and then we're good. The boots are a wee bit soggy, sadly, because it has been raining all bloody day. But we're past that now, and if it rains tonight, we're pretty well set up. So sorry, one hand holding the phone, one hand debootifying. And then I can lift my legs up here instead of hanging half suspended like a drunken spider, and we can have a chat. So this is day 66 of the big walk. Let's see if that's loose enough to come off. Not quite. Bloody hell. This is a wee bit awkward. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Filters, we don't need filters. So as you can see, I'm kind of hunched over like Quasimodo, trying to deal with these boots. Hanging half in, half out of the hammock. So imagine doing this in a storm, which I have done, but it's all an adventure. Now, for dinner, I have a protein bar, and I have ample water because I carried heaps of extra water for this stretch. There we go, boot number 1. Now, we do not want any creepy crawlies to get in our boot. So what I like to do is to put the wet sock in there, and it's the first thing you pull out and give it a shake in the morning, just to make sure there's not like a I don't know, funnel web spider or some such thing. Sorry, this is all a wee bit awkward, but we're almost done. And now boot number 2. Let's just lay back a bit and lift this leg up here. See, for an old fella who previously weighed 140 kilograms, this is kind of acrobatic, mate. So what? You can't see what I'm doing. We've got the, legs stretched up here, and we are now, let's undo this boot. Jeez, it's like bloody brain surgery. Except I only had a brain. What the hell is wrong with me? I don't know. Hang on. Got to get these nice and loose. And then in the morning, first light, I'll get up and continue. The goal tomorrow is another 30 or so. Another rough camp. And then I just, on Thursday, walk through the morning and roll into Orbost at about lunchtime. And I think Orbost has a bit of a, I don't know, Captain Australia welcoming committee or something. So I've had some people say they want me to visit. I might get to visit another school or see some school kids. I love that. And there we go. That's all loose. That should do the trick. Now we'll just use, kick this off. Whoops. And then pull it back up. There we go. Sock off, and then I can chat. This sort of little exercise is done. So I thank you for your patience and apologize for the clumsy, disordered state of affairs. Sock off. There we go. Oh, that doesn't smell very pleasant. It should deter any predators. They'll smell that and think there's something dead and diseased here. Okay, and now, here we are. In our hammock, safe and sound. Now we got Murray's mum's blanket. Murray, who I met in the Gold Coast, and he asked me to carry this blanket, which is now, oh bloody hell, iPhone, sorry, we're almost done, Okay, that's now my pillow. I got a sleeping bag in here, and, okay. Zip up the screen so we don't get any mosquitoes coming in. Do the other end with my toe, because I can't, look at that. You brilliant old fool. Okay, now, glasses. Let's get the glasses, and at last we can chat. So I reckon if the storm hit right now, you might have your doubts, but I reckon we're okay. So let me just go right back and check for comments. Diddly-dee, checking for comments. Brady says, hey mate, how you going? You sleeping in bush tonight? Yes, my friend, I certainly am. And tomorrow night as well. So I'll do another 30 or so tomorrow, another rough camp, and then I'll push into Orbost Thursday morning. Sean says, hey brother, doing good. Thank you, Sean. I can hear some wind building up. So someone on the road told me there's a storm warning for the area. Vanessa says, nice to see the sun. Yeah, ever so briefly. It's been raining all day. Brady says, I seen you when I drove past you in Stockton. Cool, mate. Angie says, look out for pot plants. You mean marijuana? Well, I don't want to get any angry bikies coming at me because I accidentally trampled their marijuana crop. Alice Duncan, I think that's just tagging somebody. Stephen says, hey, Captain, take care. They say storm on way right down south. I hope it doesn't interfere with your quest. Mate, I can't let it. So with my Magic Cuda coat, I resist the weather pretty well when I'm walking. And with the gear set up here, I resist it pretty well when I'm sleeping. So if there's foul weather, I just keep moving forward. So I need to make a minimum of 25 kilometers a day to achieve the 19th of March arrival date that I plan for getting to Melbourne. So that allows me to stop and smell the roses and all of the rest. I might do 30 or 40 one day, and that'll give me more time to chat with locals the next day. So I think we're going to be okay, but I do have to keep moving forward, kind of like a shark. If I stop, I'll sink and die. Diddly diddy. Patty Boo says, I love watching you. Much love. Well, cheers, Patty. That's very kind of you. Diddly diddy diddly dee. Catching up on comments. Sleep well, tuck in. All the best. Magnificent, mighty overlord. Thank you, Angie. I proudly accept your rightful praise. Diddly diddy diddly dee. You're a bloody legend, says Julie. Well, thanks, Julie. Teresa, I think we are all interested in seeing your setup in daylight. That's cool, Captain. Oh, great. Yeah, cool. So the gear, I'll pull some in later, but really once I'm in here, I'm just like a, caterpillar in the cocoon, and in the morning out goes the butterfly. I will pull up the electronics, the power pack, and make sure the phone stays charged up. And one of the reasons I didn't push forward and camped early is it's 4G here, so we can do a stream, and I can FaceTime the kids and wife and all of that. So all well, all is well. I'm a little electronically powered up, Captain. The Twyla says, hey, Captain, have you come through Cabbage Tree Creek yet? Do you need anything, water, food, a hot meal? Just let me know, and we'll leave it out for you. Always welcome at ours for a meal and a shower if you need it. Thank you. I have no idea where Cabbage Tree Creek is. So I'm not far from the Bellbird pub, and I'm about 30 kilometres away from Can River. So I'm just camped in bush there. If Cabbage Tree Creek is somewhere nearby, I'll check it on the map after the stream. And hey, I always, here's the thing: if my material needs are all taken care of, I still love to say hi to people. I collect kind people like your Pokemon, and I try and share you online. So, and I'm trying now not just to get like little photos. I ask people if they'd say something, tell us the meaning of life or whatever. Wow, that's a pretty serious wind. Yep, still all set up. We'll be fine. Diddly dee dee diddly dee diddly dee dee diddly dee. Catching up on comments. The storm that's coming is a big one. 125-kilometer winds. Crap. Well, I chose high ground because of the flood warning. And there's sort of a windbreak to the west and to the east, but it could come straight up my bum from the north and south. So I'll just have to cross fingers and hope for the best. Anyway, I got my comfortable uh, thingo. I forgot the word sleeping bag for a second there. I'll be all right. Um, okay, Shanna is watching. What does the fox say? Bing, ding, ding, bing, 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 ding. That's a personal thing. Denise says, say hello to Jamie and Mel, David and Dee from Ulladulla. Hello, Jamie, Mel, David and Dee from Ulladulla. How you doing? Diddly dee diddly dee. Almost up to date on comments. Smells like Harry's farts, asked Denise. Who's Harry? You mean my dog's name's Harry? If you've picked up on that, good on you. Lachelle says, hey, Captain, going well, keep it up. Maka, Lachelle, and Kira. Cheers. Lovely that you're still keeping an eye on things, Lachelle. We met at, it was Bateman's Bay, wasn't it? No, not Bateman's Bay, coming into Narooma. Yeah, pleasure to see your name pop up again. What does the fox say? I can't sing it. So Shanna is the lovely person who hosted me along with Anya and Graham in Malakuta. They gave me that fantastic magic coat that I've got now. And she's mad as a cut snake, but in a wonderful, wonderful way. And she wants me to sing this What Does the Fox Say song, but I don't know the words. It's like the cow goes moo, the duck goes quack. What does the fox say? Ring, ding, 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 a ring, ring, ding, ding, a. And, come on. Diddly dee. Where you at us, Catherine? So 30k out of Can River on the way to Orbost. When will you arrive in Melbourne? Asked Brady. The 19th of March, my friend. Planning to probably get to Federation Square at about 11 a.m. And before that, I would meet and possibly meet up with people who might want to do the last 5k with me or the last couple of k, and meet them at a park, have a little chat and discussion, and then we could walk to Federation Square together. Diddly dee dee diddly dee. Peter Morrison, hey mate, Orbost is getting ready. Bellbird Pub is just down the road from you, and Cabbage Tree Creek is 10 kilometres past that. Okay, so I might actually need to get a little bit of water tomorrow, but I assume I can get it from the pub. if they're not open early mornings, I guess there's a tap somewhere and I assume it's safe to drink. I could use another litre or two of water, but if not, that kind person who's at Cabbage Tree Creek, I'll bear you in mind. Diddly-dee-dee-dee-dee. Okay, we're all up to date on comments. So, I am now suspended in a hammock in between burnt out but still living trees on a big hill by the freeway. The noise from the trucks isn't too bad, and I'm reasonably comfortable. There's a storm warning with massive winds, but I'm not too worried. We've come through a lot worse than that. Okay, sorry, Sharon says, hey there, Captain. Lots of love and light for a couple of rough days. You're smashing it. Well, thank you. Yeah, these days have been tough for me, mainly because of the extra water and all of the rain. So I have to carry extra, and I've been getting, a bit wet. But for me, it's sort of a reminder of how the walk started, because with all of the kindness since the South Coast, I've just I've gotten a bit used to. Oh, is that what kind of spider are you, mate? Bugger off, get out of there. Yeah, I've just gotten a bit too comfortable, so it's nice to go back to the ordeal of it before the end. Harry's fart's so much worse than wet boots. Well, yeah, I suppose, but the boots aren't just wet boots. They've been worn by me for a period of, like, not taking them off and getting progressively pongier. Um, oh, TCAS, hey, Cap, how you doing, TCAS? Good to see your name pop up, you sadistic, evil, wonderful person. Marg says, hope you have a good night and get plenty of rest. Orbost will take great care of you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Orbost. I think they've got something in mind for Captain Australia. So yeah, it'll be lovely. And that's the short-term plan. After Orbost, it's like Lakes Entrance and Sale and Traralgon and other places that I haven't really learned yet. And I think along the way, I'll hopefully try and drum up some more publicity for the arrival in Melbourne, see if we can get on the telly again, because that's where the charity makes the money. But yeah, all is well, and I appreciate time and interest and support of everybody who's been watching. And if you've been getting something from it, I am absolutely bloody delighted. Shanna says, can we try auction your old jacket? It's a piece of, it's all torn and wrecked, Shanna. I don't know who would want it. You can do whatever you want with it, Shanna. Okay. Lady Beverly says, hi, Captain. Hi, Dawn Beverly Nash. Hi, Dawn Beverly Nash. Tammy says, hope your family has kept dry in Brisbane. Yeah, the floods there have been pretty terrible, but I think there's been a sunny day, so hopefully that's allowed the floodwaters to recede a little bit. But yeah, we live up on a hill, so I mean, there's been a loss of life and devastating loss of property as well. That's pretty bad, but I think my family is safe. The boys have had a couple of days off school, but they go back tomorrow. I'm a little concerned about my eldest son because his school is right next to a little creek catchment that would immediately flash flood. So I hope we've just sort of made him a smart enough kid to, not do anything silly. When I was young, I went riding my bike through floodwaters in Brisbane, though, so I did the silliest of silly, and I guess I'm still alive. Ugh. Julie says, hang it in the local pub, replying to Shanna. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, Shanna. If I thought about it, I should have written something on it, I guess. It has come a long way. It crossed all of New South Wales, and it did defend me against weather. The jacket you gave me is just so much marvelously better that I didn't even think about it. Suddenly, my old jacket was just relegated to being garbage, which it is by comparison. And I'm so grateful to you, not just for the jacket, but for your kindness overall. And that's Shanna at Malakuta with Graham Nunya. I can post it to your family. Oh, yeah, we don't. Yeah, no, that's kind of you, but I'm fine with it going in the bin. Unless you really think if you sent it to us and I wrote something on it, anybody would want it. TK says, doing well. You're in bed early. Hope you sleep well. Yeah, well, I just thought it'd be a chance to set up camp and show how that looks in stream and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I haven't done a good job with the streams over the last couple of days, so I thought I'd get up with the little chatty aspects of it. So for me, the idea of a big walk, just to take it all the way back, because I think there's new people watching, the idea of a big walk started with just a need for healing. So I had, when I was 44 years old, I was diagnosed with a stage 4 invasive head and neck cancer. It was growing rapidly. It was the size of a golf ball. Have I got anything to eat? Asked Julie. I have protein bars, yeah. So I'm all good. And it was just growing to the point where it would obstruct my airway and kill me. And I I beat it. Like, I went through grueling treatment. I saw children waiting for treatment, and it was like a horrible kick in the guts. And I remember one day seeing this kid waiting. He just wanted to go to the ECHA, but he was waiting for radiation therapy. And the ECHA was on across the road. That's our Brisbane's exhibition. It's like they have Sideshow Alley and show bags and all that stuff. And you could just see it in his face. I just want to go to the ECHA, Mum. Why can't I go to the ECHA, Mum? And I felt my heart just reached out to this kid. And I don't have any particular faith or anything, but I spoke to God then, and I said, look, just give me the extra cancer. Let the kid go. Just let him, because it's unjust and it's wrong. And I couldn't do anything about it, and I didn't really, I just filed that away. But 4 years later, I wasn't coming back from my cancer. I was trying to fight it, and everything I did was because of the cancer. If we went on a road trip, we went because of the cancer. If I tried to lose weight, I was trying to do it just because, I had cancer and I need to overcome the cancer. So cancer just had this horrible shadow and footprint. And it always, for anybody who's had it, you understand, it looms on the horizon like a storm that's going to come back again. And after 4 years, I piled on weight. My thyroid was wrecked by the treatment. I weighed 140 kilos, and I was just broken in every way. But then I started to get this moment of hope, where I remembered the walk I took as a kid. When I was 15 years old, I walked from Brisbane to Gloucester, just outside Sydney. It was an adventure. I didn't want to get put into foster care. I was just trying to escape a iffy home situation. And I slept under bridges. I walked down beaches. I did get a couple of rides, but I didn't hitchhike or anything because, I didn't want to get picked up by police. And I went and got to my grandma's after 27 days on the road, and I lived with her for a few years before she sadly died of bladder cancer. And I remembered that adventure and the way that it gave me hope after a time of darkness, and I started to believe, and that's what you need. You need a belief in magic, basically. I started to believe that if I took another big walk, I could heal myself. And I wound my hope into that. I started to walk right away. I started to, 3 kilometers the first night, 5 the second night. And after that, I made myself double it. And then it was 10 from then on, 10 kilometers every day. And when you're obese, it's horribly hard to walk. And it was all because I started to believe I could heal myself, and that if I took a really big walk, I could get better. And then I decided to be of service. I realized if I was going to do it, I could superhero up for science, bring Captain Australia to life, and do it for a charity. And as soon as I decided to be of service, it's like kindness is the antidote to suffering. It just amplified the healing dimension of it. So I started to get better and better and better, physically, psychologically. Uh, Nothing like what's happened since I started the actual walk, but even just the preparation for it, I started to get better. And for me, the walk is about the power of hope. How, life it's not all cuddles and fairy floss and candy. Life can kick you right in the guts. It can punch you and knock you down and put its foot on your throat and say, don't get up again. But with a bit of hope and a bit of heart, you can, and you can keep moving, and the big walk is, I guess, a metaphor for that, finding hope and moving forward no matter what life throws at you. And anyway, that was what led me to the big walk. And since I've been on the road, and this is the 66th day, Christ, 66 days, um, since I've been on the road, every lesson that I had in that little practice bit is like a practice lesson, It's just I've had it to a much higher magnitude while on the road. Like in the first weeks walking down the beach, I would be crying so much. I missed my kids, but I was processing grief that I hadn't allowed myself to properly feel at the time. And, along there, the whole tone changed, Um, I started to like experience kindness from people that I was meeting and interest from the public. And it became almost not my walk anymore, but our walk. And I started to learn, like, all my life, if somebody directed kindness at me or offered me something, I'd be like, oh, no, 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 thanks. I'm okay. No, no, I'm okay, seriously. Or if they said, how are you? It was always, oh, good, thank you, even if I wasn't good. And I've learned now like there are things that I'm breaking down and rebuilding in who I am. And one of the lessons is that you should never discourage kindness. It is just bloody gorgeous. Low power mode, well, in a bit. Um, kindness is like this beautiful circle that we create together, and it feeds and it lifts us both up. But then when you pay it forward and give it to somebody else, it just spreads through society, and it's bloody lovely. Um, Gail asks, when you planned the big walk, how long did you think it initially would take you? When I mapped it out, I tentatively thought I'd be in Federation Square by the 1st of March. That was based on like 45 kilometers a day or something like that, and based also on powering through, like, not the whole long and windy road that I've taken, but yeah, well, 19th of March, so an extra 20 days. I've had, I think, 3 full days off. One at Coffs Harbour, one at Malakuta, and one at Nowra. So I've had 3 days where I had nothing to do but laundry and, treating the tick that got into my neck and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's taken me longer than I thought. My pace has generally been worse. So I can walk 12 hours in a day, but if I'm only doing 3 kilometers an hour, or if I'm stopping constantly and saying, yeah, g'day, I'm Simon, I'm the bullfed superhero, Captain Australia, blah, 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 then, that takes time, and you make less distance as well. And honestly, I don't care. It's fine. At first, I was bitterly aware of the time because I wanted to get back to my kids. And, I know I'd say my children and not my wife. I adore my wife, I love her to bits. I'd walk through fire for her, but my kids depend on me. And, at the end of the day, I feel this burning need to be there to teach them and help support Jen as well. And, but, I don't want to abbreviate any of the journey now. At first, I was just so anxious to get it done and get home. Now I'm in the reeds, I'm in the middle of it, and I don't want to cut it short. I just want to do the best job I can. And so I missed some questions. Hi from Palmer, mate. How are you going? Hey, Brody. Yeah, good, thank you. Diddly D. Where are you now? I'm 30 kilometers out of Can River in between, on the way to Orbost. Hi, Gail Crouch. I saw your donation. Amazing. You need to follow me, and then I can send you an invite. So this is Vera's the Triple M, Morwell to Melbourne in March. So there's a challenge to walk 134 kilometers, I think it is. You should look at that. It's 6 posts down the timeline now or something like that. Patty Boo says, Jasara O'Connell, Claire, such an inspirational man. Oh, thank you. Diddly dee dee diddly dee. What comments did I miss while I was rambling? Hi, Captain. You look cozy in your hammock. I didn't get to walk today, MMM. I need to get in contact with Vera as I didn't get the invite. I've done my donation. Well, I think she's in the chat. So, anyone want to buy a jacket? All cash to Caps charity, signed in Federation Square. Lol. Yeah, well, the big yellow jacket, I'll ask people that I meet to sign it as well, but I don't know if I want to auction it. It's such a bloody lovely thing. I'd like to keep it as a keepsake. Diddly dee. Comments, where are they? Nina Bass, so inspiring to hear your backstory. I also agree that great strength and great ideas come during walking and running. Just plain human kindness is the key to the non-medical problems. Time pressure is a whole different story. Yeah, well, I felt, so for me, the walk is a pilgrimage, and it's about stripping life back to the absolute basics. So all of the day-to-day problems and worries, brushing them aside and just making it about survival for a little while. So Jen, she carries the weight of caring for the boys and dealing with all of that domestic stuff. And we agreed it was just a necessary thing. We both invested in the idea of healing. And so she's my partner in this, silent partner who deserves at least half of the credit. But yeah, the pilgrimage, I think it's tremendously healing. If you're broken, you should consider it. Doesn't have to be my mad, it'll be 84 days when I come in, I think. It doesn't have to be of that magnitude. You might spend 3 days, walking from your home to the next town over or something. Paddy Boo says, I hope you're coming through Barnsdale. Yes, mate, I absolutely will. Where are you? Asked Brody. So I've left Can River. I'm 30 kilometres on the road to Orbost, mate. There we go. Okay, are you chatting amongst yourselves? That's nice. So, yeah, that's the story. And look, on the way, there's just been some amazing and weird and surreal experiences. I've met some wonderful people. I couldn't there's literally 50 people or more who are just amazing standout people. For me, there's people like Scout Coralie, Uncle Phil, but there's another Phil in Ulladulla, lovely bloke. There's Joe in Ballina, and there's all these people online like TCAS, who is a sadistic and evil and horrible, wonderful, wonderful person who keeps doing these bloody daily donor dares of doom, super villaining up for science, making me sing all day or talk like cartoon characters or make my beard pink. It's like, come on. But look, of it's just been this phenomenally weird and wonderful journey. When I got to the Harrington, I needed to cross the Manning River, and the local marine rescue people took me over in a launch, and they were like, "Breaker, breaker, we're leaving now, crossing the Manning River. We have 3 persons aboard, operator, blah, blah, and Captain Australia. Repeat, Captain Australia." And I'm standing there on the back of the launch being carried across. I remember in a town near Grafton, this lovely couple who headed the local SES outfit drove out and delivered a cooked steak to me where I was camping in the bush. They drove out in their 4-wheel drive, set a 12-pack or 24-pack of toilet paper down as a table, and laid out a plate with a big old steak on it. Phenomenal stuff. You're chatting amongst yourself about Strava. Nina Bass says 84 days is a huge time to be away from family, and it's fantastic that this has been a great and memorable experience for you. Yeah, and look, I shared my wife noticed my 2 youngest boys talking the other night about me, and my middle son Sullivan, who's on the spectrum, and he's normally not demonstrative emotionally. They were talking about when I was going to get back, and he said he's been gone for 1,000,000 years, or he's walking for 1,000,000 miles. I miss him so much. And my youngest boy Sheldon was, yeah, I miss him and I love him. When's he coming home? And yeah, I'm very blessed in my children. Spencer, my eldest, was in his room doing homework. Sorry, Captain, for chatting over you. Go for it, Gail. That's fine. But yeah, 84 days is too long to be away from your family. But I go back to them better in every way that better matters, I think. Gotta love a big steak delivered on a toilet paper table by committed volunteers. Yep, you gotta love that. So anyway, look, I haven't really exercised any of my overlordian powers now that I'm in Victoria. So I probably could put the call out. Da, 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 da. I'm not eating protein bars. I am your lord and master. You will deliver to me henceforth a fisherman's basket and a beer. You have 30 seconds to comply. No. Well, I mean, I did declare myself overlord on entry to Victoria. Nina Bass says, your children will appreciate all you have done and you'll inspire them too. Yeah, I like to think that as the years pass, I'll have this to give them at different points in their life, and it can give different things to them. So it may be at some point one of my sons struggles with something. He'll have a problem that he can't overcome, and I'll be able to talk to him in a new and different tone of voice. And a shrubbery. Well, that's Monty Python, right? If we actually had a leader who did that sort of stuff, I'd probably like them a lot more than the petty little shoplifter mentality scumbags that we've got. If the next person in was like, yes, we shall lower taxes, but God damn it, you shall call me more your lordship as I walk down the street. I could get behind that. Anyway, all right, so I'm gonna FaceTime my family now, I think. I'm sorry for my long-winded ramble. I hope you enjoyed seeing me set my camp up. It's still well and truly bloody daylight. I probably gave up a little bit early, but my feet, when the boots are wet, they're heavier. I was starting to get a bit fatigued, and plus, I don't need to stress out too much about time. Got it all mapped out as long as I stick to the plan. So, big storm might come through tonight, and I'm sure I'll resist it pretty well. And if you want to get in on the Triple M challenge, that's the Morwell to Melbourne in March. Look at Vera, who is in this chat. You'll find her name in there. She's got a thing called Strava that allows you to track your progress and all of that sort of stuff if you want to participate. Um, Julie says, not a ramble. It's great to hear your background. Thank you. Well, good night, our Lord, TCAS. Hey, TCAS, are you going to be at Federation Square? I understand you live in Melbourne, right? And I think you said when you got the Kids Cancer Project t-shirt that you'd wear it to Federation Square. I really do live in hope of meeting you face to face, my friend. Stick to the plan, Captain. I will. Yeah. So, 100%. Cool, TCAS. That's lovely. I'll really look forward to it. I'm trying to sort of conceive of a plan where I could meet people who might want to meet before Federation Square, like a couple of K out, and we could do that last little bit together, just sort of walk in, whether it's one people 550 or 500, who knows? We need to get a few hype men in there with megaphones, come on, welcome Captain Australia, it's your Lord and Master, but yeah, I hope that we can get some TV cameras there just to push the charity forward. Kyle Werner says, how far did you make it today? Today I walked pretty much 30K bang on, and tomorrow I'll do the same, which will position me just, like 15K out of Orbost, so I can roll into Orbost in the morning, and I'll spend the afternoon doing social stuff with the people there. TKs, I'll make another night 1 or 200 Ks out for dinner. I will make another night 100 or 200 Ks out for dinner. What? I don't exactly understand, TK, but if you mean come and meet me somewhere, love it, awesome, that would be wonderful. I'd be delighted to do that, TK. Paul says, keep it up, you're doing great. Cheers from Hut in Quorma. What's Hut? I know RFB is the rural fire. Oh, it's Hut, Hut's your name, like your nickname. It's Huddy, Paul Hutteroff. Yeah, oh, good on you, Paul. Thanks, mate. I loved Quorma, such a lovely little town. I saw like the ravages of fire in almost every face. Like people were all still quite struggling, it felt like to me, but such beautiful, beautiful and kind people. Nina Bass says, oops. How far away from your original dollar goal are you now, and where do we all donate? If you look at the sticky post, Nina, there's a bunch of media and links and stuff about all kinds of things that have happened during the war. But the very first link, it has donate.